Welcome to Woman2Woman Today, where we're having intimate conversations with inspiring women while doing fun projects that will teach us something new. I'm your host, JenMaseda, and we want this show to be a bright spot in your lives. If you have children in your life and you need ideas for how to engage them in a meaningful way that delights both you and them, then you have to keep watching this show. With us today is Kim Votruba-Matook, CEO and founder of The Artful Educator, an online resource for anyone with children in their lives who want those kiddos to cherish the time they spend together and learn something, creating a really meaningful memory. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So you are a graphic designer by trade, but you saw a problem when you had your own child, and tell us what happened, because this is something that I think a lot of parents are really desperate to hear.
Absolutely, thank you. So when our son, George, was born, my husband and I have very large families, very involved families. So when they were coming over to the house, I started to realize that some relatives had absolutely no problem connecting with a newborn, because they don't do much, right? They eat, they sleep, they do what they need to do to exist.
Sure.
But for the adult side, there can be something lacking, potentially. And I saw that issue actually in my husband, among other relatives, where he really struggled finding that time meaningful. So I started looking around for something that, kind of this universal tool that could really engage any adult and inspire them to have conversations. And I couldn't quite find what I was looking for, so I decided to create it.
Good for you.
Thank you. So I started with my son's initials, and that turned into the Artful Alphabet, where every letter of the alphabet is made up or designed as a mosaic of items that start with that letter. So for example, my son's name is George, so he has a G. And there's a gorilla, there's a goat, there's granola, there's grass, there's a guitar. So it really runs the gamut. There's geography, there's animals, plants, sports and activities, punctuation. I mean, I tried to jam as much educational content as I could. And since then, that's what we used to talk to our son every single day. We made that time meaningful.
And tell us why it's important to have a conversation even with a baby, right? Start with a baby that's really not doing anything, and come on, dude, when are you gonna get a job, kind of thing. Like, you have to start then.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because again, right in the beginning, the eye contact is so important, and the baby hearing your voice is so important, and the fact that you're giving them attention is just so important, and that's where the basis of communication skills starts. It's hearing your voice, it's hearing the pauses after sentences, it's hearing pauses after questions. Even though they're not going to answer, they still need to know that that's a part of processing language. So it's absolutely important for the child, but it's hugely important also for the parents, or really any caretaker, because it's allowing you to build that habit of quality conversations with your child, so that you can be able to talk about anything, because you should be able to talk about anything with your child. And again, it creates memories for you, and it will create memories for them as well as they grow.
Do you think that interaction happens less with men? You talked about your husband as being an example of the criticality of the product that you've created. I would say that in our home too, we sort of talk about that baby phase as being really, really a challenge for us. Just our personality, it was a challenge for us. Do you find that it's typically more men, or it's typically, more, is there a gender that this speaks to more so to get that engagement? Because I remember a lot, I would be playing with a child and Louise saying, I can't wait until they can talk back to me, because that's going to be a great stage. But you're really missing out on he's going to love it that I'm talking about him on the show like this. He's not going to watch this one, so no. But is there a gender difference? Is there any indication of that?
Not honestly that I've seen. It's been more of kind of a mindset of parents sometimes thinking what do I have to contribute? Just, for example, the letter A has apples in it. So, what do you talk about with apples? Well, they're red and they're green. That's a perfect starting point. We're just, again, you're just talking about colors. Sometimes they're red and green. How does that happen? I don't know. And even admitting that you don't know could then allow you to explore more, and then taking that level and that step to then share that information with your child. Or maybe it conjures beautiful memories of going apple picking. You can just tell that story. It's not necessarily facts or information, but it's your personal connection to just a generic object. You're making that personal for your child, and that connection, that aspect of connection, is hugely beneficial.
Yeah, and personal for yourself too.
Absolutely.
It's a memory that you're bringing forward that maybe you wouldn't have had you not had that that opportunity to do so.
Right.
And you're. This is what I think is so beautiful about this show. We bring women that have an idea, have a passion, have something that they want to share, and then they go and they do it, and there might be barriers along the way, but this is not your education is not your background. You're a graphic designer, so tell us how this happened. So you had the idea, but did people help you? I also want to make sure that people know that you don't have to do this alone. There are people resources that we can reach out to. So how did you get this done, Kim? Because it's tremendous opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, I was living in Framingham, and I was commuting to Boston at the time. So I got a lot of work done on the train when after maternity leave. But it's really, I would not be able to do any of this. I wouldn't have had the time without my husband being so supportive, and again, our family just being there to help us with at that point, just Georgie, but now we have our daughter Cassie in the picture too. So really, I would not have been able to do anything without their love and support, and just the continuous encouragement to keep moving forward. But as far as the process, I did a lot of the artwork on my own. I had some family kind of check it out and see what I could add, how I could improve, just getting kind of outside opinions, but really primarily it was my husband and my family. They just rock. They just are amazing.
Well, you're very
so
fortunate.
Thankful.
But give yourself a lot of credit, because it's a daunting task to see a business opportunity and to see a product that you just really believe in, and you know that it can help so many people. And you went after it, and you got that done. And we talk a lot about self-worth and the talk tracks in our mind with the self-doubt that we replicate. Did you have any of that? And if you did, is it, again, the family saying, come on, Kim, you can do this. You are a bright spot. You will get this done. Did you have negative talk? Because maybe you didn't. I think that would be a great lesson, too.
That is really a great question. I think I did have negative talk, just thinking about, why am I doing it outside of, my son's initials, where people were saying it's a good idea, but people can be polite, and it's that,
Right.
I guess that is doubt. Yeah, I guess that could be negative talk if I spun that and said, my mother-in-law is just being lovely because she knows I'm sleep deprived and that I just started work again, and that
she's not really going to buy it for anybody. So.
Right, but she did.
There you go.
Yeah,
and everybody does.
That was wonderful.
So did a lot of people. So there you go. So you had a
yes.
good idea, and you made that happen.
And I'm hugely thankful for that, where it had always been kind of in the back of my head about having something to bring to a craft fair, having something to put on Etsy once that came around. But again, wondering if this was worth it, if this was it. I did struggle with that, but again, I pushed through, and again, a key to, again, was my husband saying, this worked for me, and if it worked for me, it will work for other parents.
There you go.
We should do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you had the testimonial right in your own home, so
exactly.
That's great, and I'm sure everyone that sees it whether they're friends of yours or not,
Yes.
is saying the same thing. So you started with the alphabet, but it's a whole resource. The Artful Educator is a complete resource, a blog. You have a lot of information that people can follow and really hone their parenting skills and their caregiving skills. So tell us, it went from the alphabet, and what is it expanded to?
Right. As far as products go, we started with art prints, standard 8x10 and 11x14. And then through feedback from customers who are primarily teachers and parents, they asked for something a little more travel friendly and easier to use in the classroom, so that begot flashcards. So we have flashcard packs, which includes the entire alphabet in 6x9 size, so you can just throw it in a bag, a diaper bag, a go bag, and you'll have those educational opportunities in the car, at restaurants. It's fantastic. And I've started to receive custom orders. People are asking for the alphabet on different objects and different things. So I did custom orders for note cards. I just did custom order placemat as well with a child's name on it.
What a great idea. So like a family letter, you know, like they've taken their last name and then they use that. It's beautiful. It's such art.
Yeah, and
what a great idea.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled and grateful to my customer base for them to approach me with, can you do this? And the answer is always yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because I want to explore other products, because really the goal of this is to see the educational opportunities in your everyday life,
right,
in every single moment, because the time we have with our kids is so limited that, you know, I want them to see opportunities in their placemat, you know, for dinner time. I want them to see it on the wall in their living room as they're just walking by. And another benefit, too, of the website is having our activities blog, where you don't even need to own a product to use it. There are 675 objects in this alphabet. My goal is to have a blog post for every single one that includes activities, so that you can just read about it, search for what you want, and you will have something that you can cater to your kids and do, you know, just by, you know, reading it, and you can just go out and do it.
What a great idea, because essentially you're giving people the opportunity to see that letter and make the choice themselves what products or what items on that letter have an affinity for them. And so generating additional activities for that is really, you're doing such an amazing job of making sure that people have what they need to make great memories, because these lasting memories are what's going to transform a child into somebody behind when they enter kindergarten to somebody, you know, far ahead, that has had these conversations and these experiences at a younger age, and therefore has the amount of exposure and example and practice that will change the trajectory of their lives. So we're so grateful that you came here today, and we want people to stay with us, because we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Kim is going to share with us a project that she's designed that's going to create a meaningful, easy memory with a child. So keep watching.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back to Woman2Woman Today, where we inspire women to reach their goals, and we learn something new each show. I'm your host, JenMaseda, and we're here with Kim Votruba-Matook, CEO and founder of The Artful Educator, who's going to share with us some really creative ideas for engaging little ones. So thank you again, Kim. That was such an exciting segment, and now we're actually looking at the product that you created. So walk us through some of the letters here, and tell us the resources that you've made to help people create these memories.
Absolutely. So what you see on the table, we have some custom note cards that were actually requested by teachers, so they could write thank you notes throughout the year. We also here have an example of a flashcard. And this is the letter K, which is near and dear to my heart because not only is it the beginning of my name, it's the beginning of my daughter's name, Cassie. So we'll be revisiting that a little later. And also on the back.
Yeah, I love that part. I'm so glad that you showed this because that's really, there are some pieces in there that when you first look at it, and then when you look at it 5 times after that, you still have so many things to talk about and to explore. And some of those things, I had no idea what they were. So this is really, this key piece right here is so critical to be able to give people almost a reminder, a gentle reminder of what a koala is.
Absolutely.
Or a keyboard.
Or
and,
what, yes.
Yeah, and that, that's something that that you talked about, that after some time, 5 years, 10 years, or just a year from now, some of the pieces in here might become obsolete to children. But yet, this is essentially why you created this, because it's an affinity for the person that is also giving the care and trying to make that interaction. So although a keyboard might not always be around, it would be a fun story for a grandpa to share with a child when keyboards are no longer in existence. So that's really brilliant.
Yes, I absolutely agree, and thank you for pointing that out as well.
True.
And I also did want to share too that all the colors of the letters also start with the letter 2. And that's
great.
also included on the key. So even though this looks like orange, it is kumquat.
Oh my gosh.
So you get another level of education there, and then you can talk about it. Because kumquat
Detail.
is a fruit, of course, and it's in the letter, but it can also be a color. And again,
Brilliant.
another conversation
Absolutely.
worth starting.
It's an affinity for everyone that there's an opportunity for everyone to engage. So that's great.
And here we have 2 8x10 prints,
Yes.
which are standard frameable sizes. So you can walk into any store and pick up those frames, and they look absolutely gorgeous on a table or on a wall.
Yeah.
And again, those prints also come with a key as well, so you can keep that with you. So as a friendly guide when
your
it
back
is on the
pocket.
wall.
Yes, exactly.
Perhaps laminated.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yes.
That's your next product.
Absolutely.
A laminated key.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Okay, so and let me also remind folks that this is a product that you purchase, and this is something that they can find on your website.
Yes.
But the website is not just about people that are buying the products. This is essentially a resource for all parents, all caregivers, all teachers that want different ideas. So when you see an age, how many? Just give me a ballpark of how many items are typically on a letter.
They range from 1 to 3 dozen objects, depending on the letter.
1 dozen to 3 dozen.
Yes.
So what you are doing on the website and on the blog is taking each one of those different products or different items and creating a great activity with that particular item.
Exactly.
I think that's so great because there's no limit to this, but you've really expanded it to such a even greater resource for so many people, because as you look at the letter, there might be one thing on there that you have that affinity towards, like a hammer, and now you can go to the website and expand on that for more creative ideas. So thank you for doing that for all of us.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take the K now. Yes?
Okay, absolutely.
Is that a good idea?
Sure thing.
All right, and we have a beautiful volunteer named Bella. So thank you for being with us, Bella. So in this K, maybe you can tell us about this K, Bella. Do you know what the item right here is that we're going to try to develop right now using some scarves?
Come on now.
Yes. Good job. That wasn't fair. I didn't give you a heads up. All right, Monkey. Kim, walk us through this, please.
Absolutely. So on our website, we have an activity for a no-sew kimono. So you can have a cultural experience and a conversation with a lovely lady in your life, and actually get to create a piece of clothing that you can that you can wear.
So this really brings
use.
that letter to life. Again,
Exactly.
with another activity that just really solidifies and gives more of a foundation of the letter and also the item that someone has selected. So what a great idea.
And creates a meaningful memory because you actually, you're actively engaging with this letter.
Yes.
And with your child.
Okay.
So all you need is a standard size scarf, or if you have a larger piece of fabric about this width and height, then you can use that. And so, Bella, if you don't mind standing with your arms out parallel to you, yes, perfect. So I'm just going to drape this around you, Bella, and we're going to have it so that it hangs on your hand over your arms. Excuse me. Here we go. And so we're going to roll up each side here so that it's not hanging off of you. Okay, so then all we need to do is we take the front corner here and we are going to find a piece of the scarf, maybe about 6 inches in and 6 inches up, so from both angles here, and we're just going to tie a double knot. That's it, super simple. So mom's scarf still stays intact, no sewing required.
Very nice.
So that is one arm. Then we're going to go over here. Whoops, use my back.
Oh, perfect.
Here we go. And we're going to do the same exact thing. And what's great about this scarf, if you get a patterned scarf too, is that you can use the pattern as kind of a marker so that both sides are even.
Yeah, good idea.
There we go. Actually, let me make that a little lower for you. There we go. Look at the other end of that turquoise square.
Very pretty.
There we go. And so, there you go. So now you have the wide arms, the wide sleeves, and I'm just going to cross over again, excuse my back. There we go. So then you can cross that right in front. So you have the nice wide sleeves here, and you see it drapes in the back. It'll drape a little lower in the back. And then if you even want to take it a step further, you can add another scarf and you can make an obi, which is the sash that goes across the front. So here we'll cross that a little bit. I'll put this around your back, Bella. Just going to squat down right here a little bit. There we go.
What a great idea. And how did you come up with this idea and all the other ideas in the blog?
I do a lot of research online, and it's thinking about what I would want to do with my own kids, and then how I could do it with time just being such a fleeting resource.
Yeah.
That how could I make the time most meaningful?
Sure.
And in the fastest way possible. So here you have the opportunity, right, to play dress up.
Absolutely.
Or Bella would have the opportunity to kind of scour your closet and look for a beautiful scarf.
And then this conversation can go further than just a kimono.
Absolutely.
And then where do the kimonos come from? Who wears the kimono?
Yes.
What is the significance?
Yes. And here the internet is your friend, where you can look up just gorgeous pictures, especially the ornamental, the dress kimonos are just stunning. And you can talk about the patterns, you can talk about the colors. The conversations, the opportunities are endless, really. And then you can always come back to a practical application of it, just in your own home.
It brings education
in
to
30
life.
seconds.
Yes. That is so brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Bella. Okay, so tell us what's next for you, essentially. What are some great ideas that you wish you could move towards right now? Because you're a busy lady. This has really taken on another life, I'm sure.
Well, I do have a very long list of everyday items that I would love to put the alphabet on, that I think, again, would make, again, everyday interactions more meaningful, like tote bags. Everybody uses a tote bag to go to the supermarket.
Absolutely.
Clothing, bibs, even burp cloths.
Absolutely.
For kids.
Onesies. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Furniture, bed sheets, curtains, party favors. I mean,
Good
it
for you.
can run the gamut.
Absolutely.
I mean, the goal for me could be even to license my artwork, because it's all artwork, and I'm literally printing it on things, and I literally want to print it on everything.
Yeah.
Because I think there's possibilities and potential there really for everyone to grasp those educational conversations.
It's such a great idea. I think you already get it. I'm a big fan. I think that's so great. Thank you for being with us today. This has been a great experience to learn about this. I think this is a resource that all of us can use, whether we have children or we know children or we interact with children. What's something that, as a young girl, somebody would have shared with you, or a memory that someone would have shared with you that didn't happen or that did happen, and you remember it? Because again, you're building these memories. What's something that you'll never forget?
I would say my grandmother telling me about her life. She raised 4 kids, my father being one of them, but she told me how much she loved her work, and that she just had found her passion just somehow, it just aligned for her, that her day-to-day just sparked so much inspiration and joy in her life that really resonated with me, to know that was possible.
That's great.
And that's what I've been striving toward, and I think that with the Artful Alphabet, I may have found it.
You found it. Yeah, I agree. I can just tell by the passion that you exude when you're talking about it. So,
thank you.
Again, thank you for being with us. It's been a joy to be with you and to meet you. Big thanks to Kim and the Artful Educator for being with us. So please remember to follow, like, and subscribe to Woman2Woman Today on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, so you don't miss a show. Thanks to the entire team at Access Framingham, especially Shavarsh Morrissey, Sylvester, and Francesca Cerruti Harris. Thanks also to Jess Friswell, our assistant producer. I'm JenMaseda, your host of Woman2Woman Today. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time, where we hope to inspire you.